Good morning. Today is Labor Day weekend. It's Saturday, so Labor Day's Monday, so 2 days ago, but happy Labor Day anyway. We are in Vermont and we are heading towards Manitou today. We're finally getting off our ass and getting there. So we're going to do that today, and we'll see what happens when we go there.
We're heading
It's a
into
big
an
place.
area
It's a dramatic place. It's a little bit of a hike to get
that
there.
I previously have
enough said about that.
done later in a video like this, but
I'm just going to leave it there, and
for some reason I'm just going directly
along the way. We'll
to
do that, but I'm probably going to
the
want to
area
save
at question
camera for when we actually get in
today,
there. So we'll do that. Come on along, and it's
going
Manitou
through all the
25.
same mental gymnastics I have in the past. You think everything's smaller till you get out here, and then you realize you're not there yet. And no, it's just as long a walk as you got. To my right is a large wetland-like area known as Splashtown. Why I called it that? No idea, but that's the name that we came up with. Or probably more accurately popped in my head at the time. Gratuitous boost poo. It just isn't a trip to Vermont if you don't see any kind of moose sign. It was here that I learned there's such a thing as snow ticks on moose. So I mean, these little blood-sucking scumbags are around 24/7. I usually stop in here and take a look to see if this area's changed. It doesn't really seem year to year to change that much, though. Kind of have to watch my step for the softness of the ground. Very easy to hyperextend a knee if you misjudge a depth or something like that. So it's basically a big field similar to the stump garden, but the trees are taller. Similar to the thinking place too. Have more history here though. Anyway, we are going to continue our journey towards Manitou. We'll jump in and out of video to mainly save the camera, but let's head back up. It's like slip right there. And we'll carry on. This is also an interesting stretch of trail from a personal security standpoint too. The one year I came through here and out of nowhere, very quiet, very, shall we say, sketchy, like a character kind of came up, and I won't say had serial killer vibes, but you hear about weirdos on the fucking trail and such. He had that vibe. The next year, kept running into the same, obviously local lady hiker, very friendly, very nice lady, and thorough opposite. You never really know who you'll run into. I've also run into a family group in here, like day hikers, probably from Massachusetts, from their linguistics, but they were a nice, friendly bunch too. Most of the people out here are friendly, but that one guy, when somebody walks up to you really quiet like that and they just genuinely give you the vibe that they're sizing you up, it's off-putting. And it's because of that and some other considerations that I have the means to present some lead-based discouragement for things like that within a 4-1000 count, with the theory being anything that's going to be on me faster than 4-1000 is probably a mountain lion, and you're probably already screwed because he's been stalking you the whole time anyway. A bear doesn't tend to do that. A bear will kind of walk around you and size you up and decide that it's almost like he's working up his courage before he does anything stupid. saw a video on YouTube last night, ironically, funny clips of cops versus basically animals. Just before we do that, say hello to this common newt. He's a newt who's common in the East. He's mid-age because he's orange and not brown yet. The older ones tend to get brown. And it's basically cops trying to play animal control. Most of it was basically funny clips of them chasing runaway livestock somewhere out in the central part of the country to varying degrees of success. I also have come to the conclusion cops are not good at wrangling wild turkeys, because the count from that video, wild turkeys 2 to cops 1. The turkeys simply wanted it more. The cops were placed in an awkward situation, kind of like mentally leafing through the cop academy manual and not really having an answer to turkeys. And turkeys that are aggressive in your front yard, they're not having your shit. They have no fear. They will not stand down. But there was one segment with a bear, and the guy wisely got into the cruiser because the bear kind of casually walked over, and in my position, in his place, a little too casual. But the thing, if you can read a bear's body language, has an intent. The ears were halfway flat, and it was popping its jaw, which is meaning it's agitated about something and it's sizing you up as a threat or something that needs a bear-related beatdown. So shy of shooting it, the guy got the right idea and decided to get himself out of the harm's way. All right, I think at the doorstep, so I'm going to need hands-free, I think, to make entry into this. So I will take a short break, but the point is, anything faster than 4 seconds is probably a mountain lion. The other weird thing from the video, just to mention it, was a person came home and in their family room, up in the bookcase, they found a bobcat just standing there looking at them. Calm as could be, and apparently that one, because normally a bobcat or a deer is the worst thing to find in your house. A bobcat's just going to be nasty. This one apparently was removed without any bullshit. The other one is a deer, because once they know they're cornered, they go into complete tunnel vision monkey shit mode, and they will like destroy everything in your house. Don't kid yourself. So we are actually over a hill and a dale away from Manitou, but I am going to make my way there, and we're going to take a segment break at this point, and we'll catch up in a minute. Okay, so we are at Manitou. I know I talk this place up a lot, and I am going to probably give a more limited version today because I want to suddenly have made an executive decision to have a more varied look around the area. Mainly because when you walk out into that, it is swampy beaver meadow goodness, and getting through that it may look like normal woods, but it's thicker than this shit, and it is virtually impossible to get further in. This is a series of I'm going to call them these open meadow pods, but getting in between them is a matter of, I heard something, getting by waterways that are inky black and God knows how deep, and every effing form of dangerous Vermont wildlife has a presence here. So I'm going to take a more varied look around, and I also would love to get my drone in here, but number one, it's windier than I think, and if I put this thing in the trees in here, you're never going to find it. The woods are that thick. I mean, there's an area over there that spills out if you want to go and do that, and today I'm not really feeling that. You can always do a follow-up trip, but I'm going to do a more varied look. I have a bit of an ascent to make to get out of here too. That's the other fun. And yeah, it's always fun trying to navigate that, because you usually have to cut to the right or to the left and get all the way over to the other side to minimize the chance of sinking up to your knees in mud. But that's the other fun too. You can conceivably get stuck in the mud up to your thighs in here, and that would be messy if not dicey. So yeah, sorry not sorry. We're gonna do a more varied approach today. So we're gonna head back out, take another segment break, and then we'll do more of a varied video than I had thought to do, but that's how it is. Let us continue. Make a visual point real quick. When I say hard to get into an area, this. I mean, you can angle through to a point, but when you look down the hill there, this shit just gets that thick. And there is part of Manitow on the other side if you want to go through 200-300 yards of this, but you're going to be so cut up on the other side. Is it worth it? You find the way I came in this year and last year, just to make the point, it definitely applies to the principle of work smarter, not harder, as in you find the area you can angle in with the least amount of distance. It's not from point A to point B. It is a zigzag, but you find the way in that's not going to cause you to get all chewed up. I've literally stepped in an animal burrow up to my thigh in there before, whilst picking spiders out of my hair. That was a fun year. Anyway, we're going to move back towards an area. I love how when you're out in the middle of nowhere, there's always a plane overhead to fuck up the effect. Anyway, we're going to move on. Quick visual reference point. You can kind of almost see it through the other side of that, but then you got to go through all that. That's the fun. Anyway, we're going to resume our journey back, kind of backtracking a little bit, and we'll be back. So we are doing another check-in along the way, and we are on the north side of the larger pond. We approach coming in here, and not the worst looking area in the world. Trying to do a little walk through here just to get the get some scenery in. One day I'll get off my lazy ass and hike all the way out to the other pond that's way the in here, which is, again, if you saw the country, it's not impossible, but it isn't really the easiest hike. It's more of a through hiker hike than like a casual day hike. I mean, most of the time people I've seen are more of the mindset that they're going to hike all the way out there and spend the night, because it's a long walk in and a long walk out. Something in the way of a campsite here, but anyway, yeah, you got somebody who's camping here. Get out and just look out on the pond for a little bit, though. I'm actually more like selfishly assessing fishing conditions, really, more than anything else. But other than the fact you would probably freeze your ass off in the wind, you'd probably have this as a cool camping site if you're like right on the water like this. But the wind blowing, the fact it's probably not more than 54 degrees right now, you would freeze your ass off at night. And probably rethink your strategy for sleep that night, because if you get that cold, it's gateway to hypothermia, which I've had a mild case of before. Ain't fun, so don't do it. Anyway, regarding other things going on, a couple of maybe sounds of wildlife in the general vicinity today. Quiet day though. Again, Manitow was looking a little wetter, so that means you're going to have wet, swampy conditions. And the reason why I didn't go all the way in is I noticed that my Zoleo, my satellite communicator, is needing a charge, which is solely my fault. But should you twist a knee or an ankle or something and you're way the fuck in there, that's a problem, because it's like just to get there from the trailhead is more than an hour's walk, and that's a long shitty hobble back to your car if you can get out of there without a whole lot of pain and damage to yourself. So on that note, there's a little drip of freaking sap right there if you can see it. Looks like the tree has a snot hanging from it. Anyway, we're gonna do some lakeside. They call it a pond. This is a fucking lake. Don't kid yourself. By Connecticut standards, this is a lake. We are going to do some photography, and we will be back in a bit, but I just wanted to check in. This video is seemingly taking on more of a check-in along a through hike kind of a... It's kind of how the day shaped up. It doesn't always go that way. We stopped by Splashtown, looked in there. Hiking in there is swampy, so you're not going to walk in there without getting stuck. There are areas like that in New England, believe it or not. But we're going to get our photography in here, as it is such a scenic and lovely spot, and we will be back with you shortly.